and welcome to round 6 of season 4 of the Apex Online Assetto Corsa Competizione for tier 7. This week's race takes place at Misano World Circuit, which is located at the Misano Adriatico in the province of Rimini in Italy. First opened in 1972 and expanded upon over the following years, the venue's currently got a capacity of 60,000 people and has a lap distance of 4.2 kilometers or 2.6 miles. Although it features 16 turns, the layout of this track will make overtaking quite difficult, and it's mainly used for motorbike races, but joined the GT World Challenge Series European Sprint Cup Series in 2015. It's also used for Formula Renault races, and of note to motorsport fans, Alpha Tauri's shakedown took place at this circuit in 2020. Looking at the Drivers' Championship table, Nils Nins moved into first place following his victory at Spa last week, pushing down both Conor McCarthy and Paul Martin into second and third place respectively. Looking further down the table, those drivers capitalising on last week's race at Spa were Kieran Wilson and Stephen Bezic, who moved a long way up the table. The other drivers will be looking for success this week to move back up the table and reclaim their places in the Drivers' Championship. But Suleiman Bar was a new entry into the top 10, with a good position finishing second at the Spa-Francorchamps. The drivers who slipped behind will be looking to capitalise on this week's race as an opportunity to move back and reclaim their previous positions on the championship table. Looking at the Teams Championship, Beeswax Racing confirmed their hold at the top of the table with Nils' victory and Steve Bezik's 9th place last week, and are now 130 points clear of Team Gently Bentley in second place. However, the competition is still close from second all the way down to 5th, with just 100 points separating all 4 teams. With both drivers scoring points at each event, it's possible for these gaps to close quite substantially should anybody suffer a bad result. This race will be a night race with a start time at 3 AM. However, the skies are clear and the weather is warm with a track temperature of 20 degrees. How will our drivers fare in the dark conditions, making visibility not as ideal as it would be during the daytime? Let's find out. And they're coming round for the rolling start. Winsberg qualified on pole with Nins, last week's winner, in second, followed by Dukes and Swords and Martin. Into the first corner, and Winsberg holds on to his lead. Looks like Nins is getting a little bit swamped like last week, and I'd say that Dukes is going through into second place. A nice clean solid start by Winsberg as he pulls away slightly from Dukes in second place. Already 0.6 of a second lead, and we're only part way through the first lap. Winsberg is currently 9th on the Drivers' Championship, so it'll be interesting this week to see how far up the table he might move if he has a good result. Dukes in second place there. Is currently not within the top 10, so obviously a good result for him. Might help get him featured into the top 10 table. And on the opening lap, it's Salvagno attacking Legrand from behind. Salvagno getting a good inside line on the corner there, getting a good exit speed, and he moves in front quite nicely, and Murphy makes an attack as well on Legrand, but don't think that he makes that stick. But Salvagno moving away nicely into the first lap of the race, already making up a position and moving into 13th place. Lap 3 already, and Domi coming up on Kieran Wilson. This is for 6th and 7th. Wilson does a strong dive down the outside, but I'd say Domi's got the inside line. He's going to hold on to that position. but Wilson doesn't give up, starts to look on the inside, but there's no way through on that corner, it's too fast. Lap 4, and Conor McCarthy, who was leading the championship all the way up till Spa, coming up behind George. Conor had a bit of a disaster just before the race, having a disconnect. He'd qualified high up the field, but the disconnect made him start from the back of the field, so he's got a lot of work to do to make sure his championship hopes stay alive. Lap 6, Condell still working his way through the field, coming up on Thomas Legrand now. And this will be to get him into 13th place if he can make it stick. Takes the inside line, Thomas is pushed out wide. And in the end it's pretty easy for Condell to take that position. Lap 7, and Paul Martin's being attacked by Domi 64. Domi gets a good inside line. Can Martin respond? No, Domi's gone through. Martin's not going to give up, he's going to keep trying. Martins needs championship points this week. If he has an opportunity with Connell's mishaps at the end of qualification prior to the race to maybe capitalise and make some points, but already Connell's just 2 places behind. Lap 8, and Thomas Legrand coming up on Salvagno. Thomas has got the inside line, out brakes. He makes a good pass on Salvagno on the inside. Lap 9, and Eugene is attacking Tugarin. Tugarin pulls over, unusual. Seems to let Eugene through. Maybe there'd been a bit of an incident the lap before, and Tugarin felt he had to let him by. That's an exchange for 9th and 10th place. Lap 12, and Wilson attacking Paul Martin, but Paul goes wide on the turn there, goes off the track, cuts the track again, loses speed and makes it easy for Kieran there to come through, and Wilson takes the place. That'll be moving him into 7th place. Wilson needing points this week to solidify his position on the championship table, and if Wilson gets a good result over Martin, he might be threatening for 3rd place. Lap 14, and now Wilson attacking Crawford. Gets a good inside line, good speed, comes out well in front. That moves Wilson into 6th place. Strong showing this week from Wilson, who's after points to get him further up the championship table. If he does a good job, he might catch Martin, who's currently in 3rd. Lap 15. And it's Martin who again is desperately seeking points in the championship table. Gets to attack on Crawford, but then goes wide. Crawford retakes the position. Not what Martin needs. He needs points, and he needs to keep it tight and under control and stop making mistakes. Lap 19, Martin again, all the action between Martin this week, and he's coming up again on Crawford. He's got good speed on the straight, he's going to come up on the inside, and it's a brave move on that straight to go up on the inside and take a position, but looks like he's made it stick. Oh, they've both gone wide. Wonder what the stewards will have to say about that. Surely they both got a track cut warning there. But Martins came away in front. Lap 22, and Domi again on the attack, this time coming up behind Brandon. and this was Domi into 4th place. Another good move by Domi 64. And in the background, is that another pass? Here's Connell, still trying to get up the field, now in 10th place currently. And coming up on Tagarin. Tagarin on the right, Connell on the left. Connell's got a good line on the inside of the corner. And it looks like an easy pass for Connell this time. And that finally moves Connell into 9th place. Good recovery drive. Lap 24, and it's Salvagno versus Daly. This is for 16th and 17th. Looks like Salvagno's doing a nice move up the inside of Daly in the Ferrari. It's a much better line around the corner, much better exit speed. Moves away to take the position, move himself up to 16th place. Lap 25, and we're coming towards the end of the race now. It's Brandon versus Sorg, and this is for 5th and 6th place. Sorg gets on the inside line, gets a better exit. Does he get better speed for the next corner? No. Brandon surges ahead, but then Sorg tries to do an undercut. Is he going to come back? Last of the late breakers. Oh, Brandon's overstretched himself. He's gone wide, but has he got better speed for the next corner? Looks like he's got it. It's a right-hander coming up. Because the battle continues into lap 26. Sorg makes a late lunge. I think it's the same position. Is he going to make it stick this time? I think he has. He's edged just into the next corner. But has he pushed himself a little bit wide? Brandon's not giving up. He's still pushing, but it looks like Sorg has the position this time in the exchange. Lap 27. Connell continues his push towards the front, so he's now in 8th position, and this is with his championship rival Martin, so this is very decisive. Whoever comes in front gets the more points. Connell makes it stick. Now put Connell into 7th place, and Martin's down into 8th. Lap 32, very close to the end of the race now, and it's Murphy attacking David Daly. This is down for positions P15, P16. Murphy's got the inside line, better position, but yep, takes it around the next corner, and he's front, and then he'll be away. That moves Murphy up into 15th place. Lap 35, Nin's down in 3rd place this week. Just ahead of him is Domi 64, and Winspur looks like he might have this one in the bag this week because we're getting very close to the race. Nin's making a good attack on Domi. Looks like he's got clean in front. Who's going to get around the net? Yeah, he's got sweeps around the next corner. But does he make a mistake? Domi's not giving up. Looks like Domi's got better exit from the next corner. Domi retakes the place, retains 2nd place. Lap 35, Tagarin on Stephen Bezic. And this is, I think, towards the last lap of the race. This is for 10th position. Bezic goes wide. Garin gets a better inside line, but it's side by side. But the mistake by Bezic lets Garin through, and he's off and away down the road. And they both go off together. Lap 36, Bezic coming back at Tagarin. This is to try and get 10th place back. It's going to be the last of the late breakers. Go. And Steve Bezic outbreaks himself. Tagarin keeps his cool, takes the place back. Both drivers pushing hard for that last top 10 position. And this is the race finish. Winspur in front. Not giving the gap there back to Domi, but it looks like a nice clear victory for Winspur this week. How's that going to do his position on the championship table? With Nins looking like a solid third place. And McCarthy and Martins both coming in 7th and 8th respectively. So how does this result affect the Drivers' Championship? Nils Nins holds on to his first place position, with Conor McCarthy and Paul Martin still in 2nd and 3rd place respectively. Danny Winspur, with his victory tonight, leaps up the table into 4th place and is only 2 points behind Paul Martin, which has 3 rounds to go. Will Danny get onto the podium before the end of the season? Domi 64 also moves rapidly up the table and is now in 5th place and is only 1 point behind Danny Winspur, so the battle for 3rd place is really hotting up. Kieran Wilson and Steve Bezic will push down to 6th and 7th respectively, and Manuel Dusch joins the top 10 table for the first time this season with a good result tonight. On the Teams Championship, Beeswax Racing are still in 1st place, followed by Team Gently Bentley. But for visually impaired racing, Aston Martin Racing Team are hot on their heels with just 6 points difference between the two. Next week's race will take place at Bathurst in Australia, and the talk in the paddock is less about success in the race and more about surviving the narrow and tight confines of the Bathurst track. How will our drivers do? Find out next week.